Welcome back to the Aggborough Unfiltered, the podcast that's louder than the tannoy after the 94th minute winner. I'm Adam, I'm joined by Liam and Stuart, and today we've got our very first studio guest. I can't really say studio because we're outside, we're on the road, outside in the garden. But this man's voice is rattled around the Aggborough more times than the clearance off the crossbar at full time. Welcome, Scott Jones, the Harriers Stadium announcer and the voice of a generation.
Cheers, thanks, Sam. What an introduction that was. Thank you.
Well, mate, I've learned from the best hearing you over the years. So it's good to be back on the podcast. There's been so much that's happened this week already in the life of the Harriers. If you haven't caught up, we're going to talk about it in a bit. But Zach Brown was just signed for Brackley. Who saw that coming? Did you see it coming?
I'm shocked, really. I mean, it's great for him, and I'm pleased for him. I like Zach, but I honestly didn't think he would go above without the Harriers.
Without the Harriers, yeah. Are you still crying over Kyle Morrison? We know you love a bit of Kyle.
Well, yeah, but he's gone above, isn't he?
Well, some may say that, others may disagree. To be fair, boys, what's your opinions? Or do you want to reserve till later?
I was shocked that Zach Brown left, to be honest. He's been with us for 2 years. He'd always seem as a person that might stick around, but the fact is he's obviously looking ahead for his career. He's obviously seen Brackley as the right choice. I mean, I hate Brackley, but if he sees it as a good move, he might be able to
just say as it is, Liam.
Who's ever plays a kid, he might think that. So it's interested.
Yeah, Scott, have you got any thoughts, or do you want to reserve your opinions on ex-Harriers?
No, I'll say a little bit. From knowing Zach as I love it, he was a great person to have around the ground, and it was, it's sad to see him move on, but I'm pleased for him that he has gone up a bit higher. I feel like I kind of wish it wasn't Brackley because they seem to be stealing everything from us at the moment. Yeah. The league, winning the league, and then the players after. But that's football, and these things happen. And sometimes you're the team that's doing it, and sometimes you're the team receiving it. But
that's right. Who knows? Phil Brown could end up there in a few months' time.
Yeah.
Let's get the man behind the mic then. On a Saturday or a Tuesday night, you might be up at the Aggborough and you'll hear Scott talking. You'll be thinking, who is that? Well, this is that man. This is the man behind the voice. So let's get right into it, Scott. How did you end up with the best seat in the Harriers?
Right, it's gone back quite a few years now. I started off, I was doing a bit of radio work, reporting on Harriers games for Radio Wire, which is the local radio station in Kidderminster at the time. Unfortunately, that kind of stopped. The radio station ceased. And then I got a message from the club saying, can you come and help us out on a match day? Well, we did things, and I started off doing just a bit of music and helping out with the scoreboard. Occasionally got to do the announcements when the current announcers were away or not able to make the games. And eventually the opportunity came. I think it was 14 years ago now for me to step in as full time. And I snapped at the offer straight away.
That's amazing. It's good that guy at Liverpool just retired, hasn't he? They've got him forever. And I think it's good. I think characters like yourself and in football clubs, it's good when people stay a lot because managers come, players go, and come and go, players come and go. But it's good to have people who stick around.
Yeah, I think it's Brentford who've got staying around. So he's been there for 53 years. I think it's something like that. Yeah, it's a massive time.
It's goals for you, isn't it?
Yeah.
Most people aim for Ronaldo on the pitch. You're aiming for the Brentford announcer, right?
Yeah, I'm taking his title. Yeah, I'm going for it.
Yeah. So it is true, though, like what Stuart just said, because even as chaplain, someone asked me, said, how long have you been at the club for? I measure my time not in years, but in the amount of managers, owners or chairmen that I've been with. And I'm sure you've been with a lot more than I have. But in my short period of time, I think I've had 3 chairmen, 2 owners, about 3 or 4 managers, and who knows what else has been going on in the background as well.
Yeah, there was for a while, it was quite steady with all. I started in the Steve era, so it was quite steady for a while, and then we did have quite a few changing managers at one point, going through quite quickly. And said there's been a few changes at the top as well since I've been here. So yeah, I've seen a few come and go, but that's it. That's what us fans do. We stay here while people come in, do their bit, and they go.
So you said you got involved because they called you. Said did you get involved in one of the original team because they weren't available? What was that experience like? Your first ever match day for the Harriers?
Absolutely terrifying.
Yeah.
So obviously being a big fan of the club as well, I didn't want to just go in and make a hash of things. I wanted to do things right, and it was my first time. Again, like I said, I've done a bit of radio work, but you're behind a microphone and you don't really see your audience at the time. So being out there live, that's the first like sort of big audience that I got to, and it was very nerve wracking. Luckily for me, the first game that I did wasn't too bad. It was a bit low key game, so it gave me a bit of time to settle in. But yeah, nerves settled as it went on.
The second game, that was the killer, wasn't it?
Yeah, so the second game was played Wrexham, and their line came down, and it was they filled up the south stand, which is just behind us now. Absolutely, like, packed it out, and there was 3 very difficult names in a row on the team sheet, and I was nervous about it, and I practiced all. Got down there, I was that nervous because they were singing. The atmosphere was fantastic at the time, and I just lost it on that bit, and I just butchered the 3 names in a row. Hearing the Wrexham just then go quiet, and then just a chant. I can't repeat what was being sung at me, but they had a little song for me at the time, and I was there my second time, and I kind of looked up thinking, I'm never going to do this again.
Okay.
And then after the game, I was like, yeah, I'll do that again.
It's chunk. I don't want anybody else to do that.
Exactly. Yeah.
That's it. Come on. Okay, so what's one of the weirdest or most unexpected things that's ever happened to you as an announcer?
I mean, there's been some weird names. Like we did have a Robbie Williams once had to announce with things. So I did announce it as though easier to entertain you. And there was ever Robbie Williams. But I don't think many people heard the joke on that, so didn't get the laugh I wanted.
Right.
The worst thing for me was announcing there's a player, and I think he was at Ebbsfleet at the time, called Naughty Naughty.
Oh.
And most people think I'm making this up. But if you Google it, he was a footballer. So I went to check, and I thought surely it's not pronounced because it was spelled like Noreti, and then the last name like Nortey. I was like, surely it's not. It says a bit different, and no, it turns out it was. So I was on the pitch, and they're like, number 8, Naughty Naughty. It's up there.
It's a bit like well, Gary Neville's dad was Neville, wasn't he?
Yes, yeah.
Is that because the parents were just so lazy? That's how they call him.
You have to know.
Neville, I'll do it.
I had a teacher at school who was a Jeremy.
No.
Like David Davies is what I know.
Yeah, I've got David Davis, haven't I? Yeah. Okay, all right. Have you ever had you just said it, you've had a full-blown name pronunciation disaster at Wrexham, and that must have been terrifying. Have you ever had one with like a home player?
I had it once, so it was on my own one day. So normally I have like somebody who does the music one down on the pitch. And one day I was there on my own. I had to do the sort the music out while reading out the teams. So on my screen, the last song that played was by Sam Smith. So I'm reading out the team, so they read out a goalkeeper. And next up was Sam Austin. But because I was looking at the screen, trying to line up the next song as I was reading out the teams, I accidentally said over the thing, the number 2 is Sam Smith. And then realising I had to correct myself and go, no, sorry, Sam Austin. So yeah, it is really embarrassing when you do it. The other one, we had Lee Vaughan and Lee Fowler in the team at the same time. And I announced Lee Vaughan was name. When I got to Fowler, I said Lee Vaughan again, and then again remembered, so quickly corrected myself to say shouting foul at the end. So they're like, Lee Vaughan Fowler. And then like you have these moments, and I'll just think in my head like, what are you doing?
Yeah,
like sort yourself out. You're a grown man now. They're like, it's just reading off a piece of paper. But yeah, it sometimes the pressures that get to you when you're reading them in the background.
Yeah,
you get nothing, and then as soon as you sort of live and you can hear yourself coming out, sometimes the pressure gets to you.
Oh, I fully get it. Even in my job, like I'm a minister as well as doing this and stuff and other bits and bobs, but I've said things like names wrong at weddings, at like funerals before. Just like the nerves crack you a little bit.
Yeah.
You rehearse all you can, but actually when you're in front of an audience, at times you go to pieces at times.
Right? Exactly, and it's embarrassing because most people in the crowd I sort of know of. So I think there's a lot of people I know there. So yeah, you can tell when something's going wrong because my phone just starts vibrating in my pocket like really quickly.
Yeah.
And everyone's texting me going, "Oh, you just said this."
Yeah.
But so yeah.
But all you can do is own it. People love it, and they like a bit of a laugh afterwards. So actually, what about the craziest thing that's happened to you at the Harriers?
I mean, maybe one of the craziest thing for me was the time. So it was we was playing on game New Year's Day, and I'd been at that time. I was also doing like nightclubs and stuff, and I'd been DJing in a nightclub until like 4 o'clock in the morning, and we had the game the next day. So a little bit like a bit lack of sleep anyway. when I was reading out the teams, I heard a shout for heads. And previous games, I've been hearing this like all season and just like booking and nothing was ever near me. So I just, I thought, stop looking out there. And on this occasion, the ball was coming straight for me, and it did hit me on the side of the head and knocked me straight to the floor. Halfway through reading out the away teams. So I sort of stood, didn't really realise what was going on. Sort of like carried on where I thought I'd left off, but then after realised I don't actually know where I left off. I could have missed out some players. I could have gone back. I don't know. But I was seeing double on the sheet, and I was thinking, I'm in a bad way. I'm like suffering from concussion already. And then I managed to get through it. And Bob Hill, who was the photographer at the time for the club, came over to me and said, Scott, you got no glass in your glasses. And so the reason that I was seeing double vision was because the lenses had been popped out my glasses.
Fantastic.
But they're on the grass.
Right.
So at the time, obviously, it was about 20 minutes before kickoff. So it wasn't made to type, but we have to find that before
They play football.
and luckily we found them and they were in whole pieces, so we didn't have to worry about there being like shards anywhere and stuff like that. But yeah, I was doing it thinking, oh my god, we can't have the game called off. And the reason being was the stadium announcer's glasses broke on the pitch. It's class there.
I'd make the non-league news. Big time.
For the wrong reason.
It's not on film anyway.
Luckily, no one seems to have it anyway there. So, every cloud.
Or you could have used it for you being framed, got yourself, what is it,
250.
250 quid? That would have been all right, wouldn't it?
But there was the camera obviously Aggborough that's filming from the start. He might have had it, but I just never wanted to ask just in case. Yeah.
I don't blame you, mate. So, like you say, you've done this now for 14 years or so. So it must be pretty routine for you on a Saturday, on a Tuesday evening. What does that look like for you from arriving to full time?
I pretty much have like a set routine with things. So I'm more or less aiming to get at the same time. I'll come in, just set things up, start with, just play a bit of music, walk on the ground, make sure everything's working. Just do a bit of a test. And then, after that, it's just sitting down and just reading through some of the stuff, reading through the program, looking at some notes, picking things up, checking, again, players that are going to be on for pronunciations and things like that. And then go into, and then I'm just going to go up to the Aggborough suite and have a little relax up there for a little bit, and then now ready for it all to start. And then, big bit for me is the bit before the game.
Yeah.
Sort of reading out the teams. For the first time, that's where I feel a lot of the pressure coming on. So obviously when people start coming in, it's building up a bit more. That's more or less it then. The second half of the game is always a lot busier than the first half because we have the substitutes coming on.
Yeah.
The first half can be sometimes a bit of a chill, especially if it's 0-0.
Yeah.
Just just watch and enjoy it. But then, the worst part is in the second half, say you get 3 subs in one go. So that, and so as you're reading out the one, then the next board going up, so you're trying to mark on your paper who's come doing the next one, so you can jump straight to that. And so when I see 3 subs stand up at once, my heart sinks a little bit.
Yeah, but it does.
Yeah,
There's a bit of work for you to do at that point. Yeah.
definitely. I do have someone who have to something marketing off for me and trying it, but it's just it's the contrast. So I'm trying to see what's going on as well as making sure you're reading out the right things and that. It gets a bit stressful, but
Right.
yeah.
I always thought you were pitting for a job then, mate.
I thought it was can I get a seat if I over there?
I had to pay for my season ticket.
So here's a question that I want to know, and then I want to pit one to you two as well. Who chooses the music for the players as they walk in? Whose choice is that?
So it sometimes lies with us. It depends on at the time who is sort of managing the club and what they want. So when Russ Penn was at the club, he was very much he didn't care much for the game, but he was pretty much he would come to me and say, I want this, I want that. Sometimes he messaged me say, look, there was a time when Paris were in a bit of a slump, when we were saying, he texted saying, look, we're changing things up a lot. We want to change the music as well, just for some fresh. And because, superstitiously we're on about running over this. And so he used to have a lot of input on it. Other managers just say to me, do what you want, sort of thing. But this time, this season, we are hoping to change up the entrance music a little bit. We've got something planned with someone hopefully it'll be quite big.
Right.
I think it's crossed if it all comes left to plan. I don't want to say too much just yet, just in case. But yeah, we are trying things, and yeah, we're going with something big.
That's exciting. Good man. I mean, what would you come into? I have to think about this. Okay, so either as a football player or as a boxer, what would your intro music be?
Oh, it's a good question.
It's a great question, isn't it?
I think what's the track? I've got it in my head. I think Dire Straits, Money for Nothing. Oh, gee, a bit of a dun, 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 dun. That's sounding more like Rolling Stones.
So just what Liam's thinking about is the question I'd put on that is, if crowd, do you think it should be like an energetic song they run out to? Yeah. And more like a because in the past we've had like the classical side of things, and then we've had like the energy side. Yeah.
I don't know. As obviously, I follow Liverpool as well. So my family is funny. We follow Liverpool and Leeds, which is a bit of a weird thing because of where my family are placed. So having like "You'll Never Walk Alone," that's a classical thing, right? In the sense of it's quite low, it's quite mellow, but it's beautiful when it happens. And then at Leeds, they have the "Marching On Together," the Leeds United song, which is quite a powerful song. That is one thing I just want us to have for some like anthem that I think they say, because even at like, dare I say, Everton, Chelsea, they have Z cars that you get class when they walk into that.
Yeah.
Things for being at those stadiums. What's the one that West Brom? You'll never. Will is my shepherd. They walk into that. I think a bit of energy is what I actually get. I mean, there's a bit of it gets the crowd going as well, doesn't it?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, we have in the last couple of years put on like Facebook pages and social media from like not the club itself, but like from my personal thing, saying to fans like, is there anything that we've got that we can use like that to walk out to, where maybe not the walkout music itself, but it's something after when the players on the pitch. They put walls like they come out, they're doing, and then they also get the higher silver line and hits, and the players are all on the pitch and they hear that. Some of that where like the whole crowd can get behind it, and it brings us to the start of the game. So yeah, if anyone has any suggestions, for something like that where we can, get somewhere that all the crowd can get together. Even if it's just something like that they clap along to at a certain point, things like that. So we keep looking, but if anyone's got a gym out there that they're aware of, or something that they think would work.
Stuart, do you fancy writing one?
Blimey, that'd be a challenge, wouldn't it?
Maybe we'll challenge you that. Stuart's a singer-songwriter. He could do that in the off-season.
It's loose. I mean,
Yeah, you got a couple of months.
Footballs. You got 2 months to get it sorted. Nearly before. What's your intro music, mate? Come on.
Well, I think I struggled to pick one, but what others have said this evening, one that fans can get involved in. You see every couple of months a video trend like Twitter or whatnot, like "Never Walk Alone." It is quite special to get fans involved before they get like Mr. Blue Skies, where if you've ever been to St Andrews, it really gets
it does actually. Yeah,
the first 5 minutes.
Yeah, and what's the one at Man City? There's Blue Moon Rising. They have that as well.
Blue Moon, yeah.
Yeah. So those sort of things you just associate with the club. Yeah, it is good. I remember. Did you ever watch the not Welcome to Wrexham? What was the Sunderland Until I Die? Did you ever watch that documentary?
I watched the first 2 episodes.
I think it was like the second season. Maybe it was the second season. And I shouldn't say this because it's a bit. I don't know if this is the right term. But the 2 posh blokes who bought it, basically. One of them tried to start changing the music, and he put a load of like club anthems on, and they were like, "What are you doing?" He was like, "I want to get them everything. Yeah. I want the lights flashing. I want everybody coming in and like flashing away and going for it." There is something about like that intro thing that just gets crowds going, isn't it?
Yeah, and the problem is obviously you got a lot of people coming into Aggborough now, and there's different age groups, different types of people, and people will have different ideas. So you're never always going to be able to please anyone, but it's just trying to get that settle bit where we can get the atmosphere going, really, is thing. So we used to do these Sweet Caroline before the game, and I used to get past them, like, we were sort of walking around and just like, standing in front of the crowd, like, which, I just used to have these little jollies that just used to walk around doing it. But, but then before the West Ham game, it was the atmosphere before those games during that moment was fantastic. And
sure, that day was, heard about that day. The club did very well and resolved so smoothly.
Yeah. We got soap in the toilets.
Easily pleased.
It's the little things about Stuart. What's your favourite Aggborough goal that you've ever announced?
It's got to be. I know it's like the stands. I think, but again, it's got to be the goal. Alex Penny's goal at West Ham, isn't it? Like it was. The pressure of that goal though was like mad because obviously we always want to get the right goal scorer for it, but it's just such a big game for Harriers, and obviously it was a big moment for Alex, and you don't want to get it wrong for that person. They score the goal, then they hear someone else's name get announced for it. So there was pressure of like we're checking like it's definitely that was Alex. We had it on the telly at the side of us watching, so we're like watching it back on there, and yeah, it definitely was. And getting to announce that to me and being part of that moment was absolutely special. On the flip side, the worst ones were doing the West Ham goals for Declan Rice and the Jared Bowen.
Because in terms of those goals, like the mad ones like Alex Penny and on Morgan Smith's goal against Reading as well, it must be very difficult to continue at the start because you announce it so quickly afterwards. I wouldn't be able to do, I don't think.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of similar. I've had to get used to is not really celebrating goals as much. When the goal goes in, some have a little bit of fun, but then my thing is getting the scoreboard changed, putting the graphic up on the scoreboard, getting the goal score, make sure we've got everything lined up for the announcement. And then
you that does all that then? On that scoreboard, is that you that does?
Yeah, it's from the box, but normally when I was stood on next to the computer.
Wow.
So I'll be putting the things up for that. But obviously when I'm down on the pitch doing stuff, my helper, Jim, I'll give him a shout out, would be doing all the putting the teams up on the scoreboard and that for me.
Shout out to
Jim. But between the two of us, me and Jim, it happens.
Oh,
Yeah.
well done. That's class, that is. One of my favourite that you've announced was Maz's goal last year against Scunthorpe, and that Tuesday night. What was that? Was it a goal? Was it?
No, he meant it. It was a shot. It was Bill Wright. I was saying that.
There was two worldies last year that I really remember. That and the Zach Brown one at Hereford. Yeah, that was unreal, wasn't it?
Yes, and the Zach. But obviously, we didn't get to
no, you too.
And I was 2 hours on. But yeah, with the Maz Kill one, like it's. I think I don't know if it comes across, but like I can definitely feel myself sometimes when you get the goals out that you're going to be more excited.
Yeah.
And it's sort of like you shout it out and it comes across more than some of the goals in those big moments.
Okay, what's the funniest crowd moment you've witnessed from the gantry?
Don't really know really. I can't think of much that's happened fan wise. I would say it's been a bit common. It's more or less for me in the main stand. It's what people shout out to like the referees and things like that. Like I mean, that's all they kind of sit here and say, yeah.
The purple one, it's out.
There's some of the shouts that like people will say they're absolutely brilliant. Like, and just think, where's that even come from? Just the thing they shout at refs when they don't agree with the decisions. Yeah. And again, it's not always that nasty. It's just just something they shout out about the ref being incompetent, but the way they put it is and the phrases.
Particularly,
yeah.
I think the best ones are whenever the crowd dies down, it's like silent. It's still easy to hear someone shout something. But
yeah. Do you mean like show him a slice of cheese? What's your favourite big moment memory other than the Alex Penny goal?
I mean, the promotion season was pretty special, especially the way that running was. Again, so that was the first time that I'd been part of the club when we'd had the promotion. Obviously, the 2007 promotion into the Football League. I was just here as a fan then. So it was great to be part of that moment and have that. At that point, I'd suffered a relegation, but not a promotion. So it was nice to be on the better end of it.
It felt deserved, didn't it?
Yeah, exactly. And and being part of all the celebrations after is that was a special moment as well.
Yeah, it's good. We've been talking the last couple of weeks about how Richard Lane and the guys who own the club and are operating the club have really brought a change internally in that club, within the fan base. Even the town has changed. How would you say the atmosphere has changed over the years at the Aggborough?
I think there's a lot more positivity with people coming in now. I mean, you see it around the ground. Even the games that aren't as great for atmosphere, you still feel like that little buzz. Whereas, years ago we all experienced it in previous times where it would be horrible around. But I remember sometimes got off the pitch after the start of a game, and I would just be like, "That was cold," and I don't mean the weather. Like you'd be reading out the team, and there's just nothing.
Yeah.
No feedback. Like, so you can hear noise even if they're not coming back from what I'm saying. You just can hear the noise, but they were like you can hear a pin drop sometimes. And yeah, they were like, the atmosphere around was really frosty. It was horrible, but I think now there is a lot more positivity. A lot more fans are getting behind the club. With things, there's a lot more for them to cheer about at the moment. As you see this season, we've made some good signings, but things have changed. And some of the good players we've had have moved on, but that's football. But since the change in management, it looks like that they've been backed. They've been able to bring in the players that they wanted to, and I think that reflects in with the fans' opinions and why people are still coming back. And season tickets have been selling fantastically again.
Right.
So yeah,
it's what we want as well. We want to see. Listen, we want to see Harriers do well, because when the Harriers do well, the town feels like it's doing well, and when the town feels like it's doing well, the atmosphere is so much better to walk around town. People are happier. Yeah. Like there's just joy in and around the place, and actually that's what this place needs. And so, having not been born and bred here, my wife is born and bred here, and I was like, I don't know if I should say this on this podcast. I say it sometimes at the church service, but I always said I would never move to Kidderminster. I just won't do it. I never want to be here. But I tell you what, I don't want to be anywhere else but here. I love this town, and I have loved being part of that, seeing that change over these last few years from like the Colin Gordon era to the Richard Lane era, and just witnessing, like you said, I used to stand at the back of the main stand after you'd made those announcements, and the only thing you could hear is fans like slating the ownership or some of the players, because the players would sit there and I'd sit with them and you could hear it, and it was like awful. And even before the game, the negativity was around. Whereas now you walk around the positivity before you've even gone through the turnstile. It's buzzing. Like you're down at the checkout of the supermarket and people are talking about it. They're buzzing. Like, I was wearing my shirt the other day in town, and someone was like, "Oh, the Reds, we're going to do well this year, aren't we?" Yes, we are.
Again, from a lot of the reason that we went to Southport on the last game, it's disappointing for many reasons, but I think that says that it means something.
Yeah.
And actually the club means something to us, to thousands of people, to the town. And I think that's a good thing. And long may that continue, We can get success. It boosts people.
Yeah.
Whatever it is, it gives you a boost.
Yeah, it does. Yeah. And on that then, what would you say makes Harriers fans, maybe Liam, you want to answer this one before Scott jumps in, what would you say makes Harriers fans different from other clubs that you've encountered? You've been to a few away games.
Well, I think as a club, we have a very good away following, but what I like about the Harriers is after get to games quite early, like with the stationary areas, it's always buzzing. It seems to be a big community spirit. Like we've got Nick who works at the club, he's going out to school and stuff. It seems very community based, and in the East Stand, you get to know people, and not just through the football, but through other avenues. And every game you bump into a good 15, 20 people. I don't think you'd get that if you were at Old Trafford, and if you lived in Manchester. So it's a good community spirit, and for an hour and a half on a Saturday, you're all cheering for the same team.
Yeah. What do you reckon?
Well, that note, adding about the community sort of spirit and knowing people. When we played Sunderland in 2013, I think it was
the Andy Thorpe period.
Yes, that's it. When Andy Thorpe had just taken over and all that. So I had to write an article at that point for the Sunderland. I was asked to for the Sunderland website, and it was like about who are Kidderminster and what about. And my main focus was the articles I was called like knowing people by name. And it was that, with no disrespect, with clubs like Sunderland who were in the Premier League at the time, a lot of the fans will go to games and just know each other, so that they're in their little groups all the time. Whereas you go to an away game, Kidderminster, and you know half the people there, you're in your little groups and you want to chat, and it's not just about going with the people that you go with personally.
That's right.
The people you see there and meet there and walk around. So that community side of things, I think, is fantastic.
Yeah.
For the club, but yeah, I think Kidderminster fans, they really do back the team.
Yeah.
Going to a lot of other away games, and I end up having to stay behind for a little bit. So I'm often one of the last fans to sort of leave stadiums, even at away games. And you don't get at away games what you get at Aggborough, where the fans want to stay behind.
Yeah.
And sort of have photos with the players after the game and get signatures and that.
Yeah.
But a lot of them will just, actually the Russell goes, they'll also that little link between the fans and the players.
Yeah.
I think at Harrods is something special and fantastic. Yeah.
I'll often say this, and that I am so grateful that my boys are growing up in this town and are becoming Harriers fans like full on, because like last year my little boy Huckleberry, all he wanted to do was get signatures after during the matches, at the end of the game. Like again, you take him to Anfield, you're miles away from the pitch, miles away from players. You're never ever going to get close to that. And whereas here, like they walk down, they walk into the stadium, and they see their mates here.
Yes.
They see like their friends' dads here. They see my friends here, and everyone's waving and cheering. And then the players are so close as they're walking up, they can just shout, "Hey, come over here, Riley! Come over here!" And they come over, don't they? And they actually sign for it. And that's something special. It's like, yeah, that community thing. Like on Saturday, just gone, the boys all three of my boys go down to Baxter and do stuff with the community with Nick and his team. And then like I was down there. I'm having a chat with some of the lads that I've met down there who've got kids down there. They're Harriers fans. We're all having a natter about what's going to happen this year. It's brilliant. You just don't get that elsewhere.
No, so that's it. Yeah. Real community spirit.
Live it. It's really important. Okay, how important is the Aggborough match day experience to the identity of the club? I think we've kind of talked about that just then, but
yeah. I mean, it's massive, isn't it? And it's when you do have these games that do attract fans in, I think sometimes that shows them what Agborough is about.
Yeah.
And there's so many fans that have come to some of the bigger games that we've had. Even when we play Hereford, in the Derby games, stuff like that, especially last season, with how big that game was. And people sit and they feel the atmosphere, and I think they go, "Joe, I quite like this. Why haven't I been coming up here more often?"
Yeah.
They might not be coming to season ticket holders, but you might get 5 or 6 games out of them.
Yeah.
And then it builds from there, doesn't it? And they see what's going on, and people get hooked up on us.
So, like my wife, she never really wanted to come with me up here, ever. All the years I've been coming to high school with my brother-in-law, I come up with myself, and obviously been involved myself a little bit. And she's never been interested. Last year, I was like, "Do you want to come up?" And the kids were like, "Yeah, come on, Mummy, come up." This year, she said to me, she was like, "Right, buy me a season ticket." I was like, "You what?" She was like, "Yeah, I'm going to get me a season ticket." She's like, "I can't miss out on it this year. You went to more games than me. I'm not having that this year." And I was like, that is what it's about, isn't it? That's what makes it special.
Can she have a word with my partner? Because she still hasn't done any games. I've been trying for ages to convert her, but it's not happening.
Even my wife came to the best. Didn't she? Well, it's class. Okay, thank you so much for that. We really appreciate it. We're going to go into a couple of other segments, but later on, we're going to really have some quick fire questions to prepare your mind.
Okay. All right, I'm nervous already.
But as we this week, I said to you there was so much going on. I just want to talk a little bit about pre-season. We've had some changes already in pre-season games. We were talking about the Worcester City game going up to Sixfield, but that's been cancelled now. We're at Shrewsbury, so it's kind of roller coaster. We've not even kicked a football at this moment in time. What's your thoughts about pre-season?
I think the Shrewsbury game, it's like a step up, isn't it?
Yeah,
and I think possibly it's the reason why. I think maybe the first few are local-ish and lower league opposition, which is fine for pre-season. But I think you get to the Shrewsbury game and you're going in at a league club, and I think you're looking to show what you've got, haven't you?
Yeah.
I think that's possibly why that's happened. I don't know anything else, but
what do you reckon, Liam? What's your thoughts?
I was very disappointed to see the Worcester game on Council but now for the old rivals, and they're doing that at the moment, so we could be paid for the years to come, so it'd be good to get a good scope of them, but yeah, it's always a shame we can't go to another local ground. Obviously, it's still be a big challenge, and big stadium for myself.
Yeah, and it's not too far away, really, isn't it? So like that should be a good away day for people to get going.
I went to Shrewsbury, and it used to be Gay Meadow in the 1980s to watch. My mate was in a football team, and he was in a final after the game, and the game was Newcastle versus Shrewsbury. Or Shrewsbury versus Newcastle, and it was Kevin Keegan.
Wow.
Yeah, that was in the day. Tony McDermott had playing for Newcastle, so I got to see them play. Which
wow.
Yeah.
Is it Shrewsbury or Shrewsbury?
I think.
What are you saying?
I would say Shrewsbury, but I know a lot of people would argue and say Shrewsbury.
Yeah. Shrewsbury. Do you reckon there's going to be any more pre-season? Because we've got 3, haven't we? Is it 3 or 4? We've got 4. There's 4. So we've got the 2 very early doors, and then we've got the cutting hall. And we've got the homes, haven't we? I mean,
there's Droitwich Spa as well.
Droitwich,
yeah,
and Sure.
And we always tend to send a team to Stourport.
We do.
Necessarily the first.
Quite like those Stourport away games, though. They're quite nice going down there. It's a good little evening game, that, isn't it?
Yeah, it's always nice to visit these little rounds and where you can for those that may have a drink around, where it's a bit more open. And what I love about those is being able to hear what the players say.
Yeah,
I bet when especially in pre-season when it's like quieter, you can hear them like shouting at each other and things like that. I quite like that.
Yeah, that's good. It's really good.
We have a lot of new names to get used to.
Oh, we're going to have to. That's one thing for you to start to get used to.
That's the weird thing.
That's happening, isn't it?
Yeah.
That's mad. Okay. We've also seen a lot of players move around, former Harriers players move around in this last week or so. We mentioned it earlier, Kyle moving to Brackley. We've had Zach move to Brackley. Biggest shock of the sort of week is Maz Killier going to Notts County. Now, we always crying out for Maz to re-sign for us. We loved some of his performances last year. I have to say, I'm a bit surprised by that. It's not because I don't rate him, but they let Sam Austin go. I haven't been following him. I don't really know how well he's done, but I assume he's still playing a decent. I saw him on the Welcome to Wrexham documentary, so he must be doing all right, to be fair. But are you surprised at that, guys? Liam, what do you think?
Yeah, well, I think I was surprised he didn't do it. When he got released from York, I generally thought that was a nod to him staying, and that's what I would want in an ideal world. So I'd be just a shame that he's moved on out.
Yeah, good for him though. Great for him.
Fair play. I mean, I think he was good for us, and he was a good player, and he tried and he put his effort in. I was surprised he's gone as high, but he could totally surprise me.
Yes, yeah. Be another Ryan Johnson, couldn't he?
Yeah.
Flying off and he'd become the club captain we'd ever know.
Yeah.
Best ever. Some of the occasions, don't they? Like when they get the higher up, they get the opportunities to pick up their game and go for it. And it's fantastic if they can do that for them.
Yeah. What's your thoughts on Zach decided? I think that I was a bit shocked at that. I was a bit like, wow, I wasn't expecting that. But again, fair play to him. He wants to test himself at their level again. And I think if he wants to go and give it a crack, we all said about 2 weeks ago he was the most improved player of the year for it.
I think so. I remember coming to one of the quizzes at the Harriers Suite a couple of years ago, and he was on our team, and I thought he was a great young man. And chatting to him and watching him play, I think he grew in stature and the way he played, and his effort. There were times I think that he struggled a bit, but generally I give him full marks for the effort he put in.
Yeah.
But I am surprised he's gone to Brackley, which is shell.
Yep. With these players, these characters, it's not just what they do on the pitch, though. It's who they are as people. But people forget that because for us as fans, or for majority of fans, what we look at is what they're producing for us each week in, week out. And when they don't produce, they get absolutely slaughtered.
Yeah.
And we forget the humanity that's involved in football and any industry. And I often think, how would I feel if I was sat at my desk doing a bit of work and someone was coming up to me going, you're this, you're that, you're beep, 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 and having a right old go at me, and then expecting me to go out and perform even better the week after.
Yes, absolutely.
But these guys have that every week, don't they? And they're quality blokes. These lads they're not just good players; they're really good guys as well, aren't they?
And that's it. I mean, football's a different game when it comes to work wise, because they are just at work really. The abuse they get for surveys. But again, I think that's where a manager can come into his own and make a difference. Is managing that when they come off. Is like some might need an arm around them and a bit of bit of encouragement, and some just might just have some tough living and take on the chin and move on. So it's something to manage how as players. But so you say it's a bit weird because they're just doing their jobs. They're here for work, and if I have a bad day in the office, which we all do, we all have bad days. I don't have people shouting at me.
No.
Well, I have managers shouting at me, but that's the way I don't have general public coming in and telling me that I'm useless at what I do.
And I think that's one thing I'm excited about Adam Murray. I think I was watching Eastbourne had a particular YouTube team following them a couple of years ago, and so there was a few interviews. If anyone wants to watch, just to see what he's like as a human being. but he seems like such a good manager. Just how he interacts with players, how he's like pastoral, really cares for them, and that is like the bit that we miss because we see what happens in that 90 minutes on the touchline, but it's the Monday to Friday bits that you're missing. That actually that's where he's managing the players, more so than in that 90 minutes, and so it's I think it's good for us when players go on to do good things. The thing that we miss isn't just the talent on the pitch, but the people.
Yes. Absolutely.
So anyway, let's move on. Let's go back to you, Scott. Let's do some quick fire questions. Boys, some of these will come to you as well. But let me ask you the first one. Tea or coffee?
I'm not a hot drinker at all, so I don't have tea or coffee.
Preference was
Really bad, but Pepsi Max.
oh, come on.
Yeah.
Pepsi Max cherry or just standard
Cherry. Yeah.
Mate, we have
So good for we actually have 2 crates of 24 cans ordered to a house every 2 weeks. That's so bad. For a Pepsi Max here. Not great for the teeth, but tastes great. So.
mate, tastes good. That's good. Okay, takeaway choice.
Chinese for me.
Okay. What about you?
Chinese. I love Indian food. I love going out for an Indian, but I don't think it transfers home well.
Okay.
So
Exactly so. Actually, it's just too much in it, isn't there? For
It has to be pizza for me.
Oh,
Great pizza.
okay.
It fits all occasions.
Fits well. I am a bad man. What? I just love a dirty kebab. And steak.
that's the end of the night after
Yeah.
having a few beers like that one. But yeah,
It's good though, isn't it?
okay, favourite football in term. I mean, I'm more or less only really follow Harris as the main thing. I know there's been some great players out there, but I'm sticking local. Back from when I was youngster coming up, one of the people that got me interested in the Harris, Darwin Humphries.
Wow.
With his backflips and round and did south.
I love that. Love that. Okay. The last song you listened to?
This is about it, but I have a terrible car Spotify playlist. And it was actually it was that England's old England granddad.
Oh yeah.
Something
Clive Dunn.
that's it. Clive Dunn, granddad. Yeah, that's the one. So it's a bit embarrassing, but
Do you know what your last one was?
Last song I listened to. I can't remember. It was on the radio today. I just got the radio on, but I don't know. And purposely listened to, possibly. Well, it's 1980s Marillion.
Okay.
An album. I've got an album on Spotify that keeps playing.
Nice. Right. My last one actually in the car on the way here was Eminence Front by The Who.
Okay, that's a last song. Really good.
Right. Liam.
And mine was kind of create Don't Only Get Better on Walk to Work.
Come on. Classic Labour. It's very odd.
walking into work is I get excited. Learning about it.
Funny. Yes. Okay, what's your go-to Karen Wilkie song?
Or Words by Boyzone.
Beautiful.
Probably ever sung it, if I'm honest. It's like my friends get fed up with hearing it now, but it's the only one that I sound semi good at. I mean, I'm awful at karaoke. Can you give us a go now? Absolutely not. That has.
All right, your dream stadium to visit or announce that?
That's everything I do. Aggborough Stadium.
She's
and again, it's one of those things. It's home, isn't it, for us? And it's the stadium that I grew up coming to. So having the chance to do what I do is just a dream for me. And even though I'm 14 years in, it's still start of each season. Just think, God, I'm so lucky to do this.
Yeah, man. So beautiful. VAR or VAR?
VAR to me. I mean, if they were getting things right with it, I'd probably be more for it. And if it was quicker. But the fact that we spent ages and there's
Too many problems.
yes, you spend ages waiting and they still get it wrong. I mean, you can forgive. I think you can forgive a referee if it's instant, and they don't quite show up because we've been watching on. Oh no, and then the rest of the week playing on. Oh, actually, it was.
Yeah.
So you can forgive for that, but when you've got that much time and that much tools and you're still getting it wrong,
It's crazy, isn't it?
you can't forgive that. So go back and then make mistakes normally.
Good. I'm agreeing with that. The one thing I did like, and I picked this up, I watched the Club World Cup last night, which, to be honest with you, is dross to watch. But the one thing I did like was, have you seen Ref Cam?
Yeah.
So the refs have a camera, and you can actually see everything from their perspective. It's really cool, in the replays. And I really like that one. If you had to swap jobs with someone at the club for a day, who would it be?
The manager.
The manager.
Yeah. I mean, I wouldn't really be managing a big game because I'm not a very good football manager. I mean, I sometimes have to cheat on football manager just to get through, but just for the experience of being stood in the dugouts and getting to tell the players what to do.
Yeah, in the dressing room and stuff.
Yeah, and just having them in a half time, telling them off. That sounds good.
When that bell goes, or your butt starts like shaking.
Yeah.
And starts shaking, there you go. What's the most stressful part of your role?
For me, would be reading out the teams, and especially when you get to the away, because they're the ones you don't really know. And make sure you get it right, and that's where if something was going to go majorly wrong for me, it would. So,
and what's your favourite away ground?
Favourite away grounds?
This week.
Everywhere. I mean, I do love ground with a good atmosphere. But I do like going to Chester. I always find it's quite good there, and there's always seems to be a good little battle, and they've also got a good crowd to get behind the team and stuff. I don't view as much from the away end because we're in the Serrid.
Yeah.
In the past, I have others behind the goal, which was much better. But yeah, I do love it, and it's not too far.
This wasn't in the. But what new ground are you excited to go to in the teams coming up?
Trying to think what the new grounds are. We've got Merthyr.
You've got Macclesfield. You've got Fylde, and you've got
But Macclesfield and Fylde I've already done it.
Bedford. Is it Bedford?
And Bedford, yes. It would just be Bedford and Merthyr for me. So, I mean, Merthyr would probably be a good one, I reckon, because it's seaside sort of area, and you do get a lot of people go down for the weekends.
Yeah.
So you get more away fans, and sometimes those have been out on the Friday night, come a bit more jolly on the Saturday. So so I think that'll be a good one to go to.
Yeah. All right, cool. Your favourite Harriers player to announce?
I love a player with a 3-barrel name to announce. So at the moment, like my favourite has to be like Mario Norwood-Smith. Come on, because it's great. You'll look at Zarek, again, and then Smith.
Yeah.
But then Matt Barnes-Homer was the same.
Yeah.
Doing things like that. So yeah, any player with a 3-barrel name is fantastic to announce. So yeah, at the moment, Amari is my guy for that one.
He's the guy. The best chant you've heard from the Harriers fans?
There's viewers now. I again, shamelessly, with the music, I'm a bit of a fan of ABBA. So when we started singing Therese Divine, along with the ABBA songs, I was a bit of a fan of that.
Yeah, that was good, wasn't it? The away ground with the worst PA system.
See, I'm trying to think about what I hate guys is when they got open terraces and they don't have any sound system for the open terrace bit, so you don't hear it, but you can hear it going on in the main stand.
Yeah,
but you don't get it. I think even if there's just open terrace, there should be something there. So any ground that hasn't got a full thing for everyone goes there for me. But I can't really think of one. I think again, I would have said Chester in the past because in the way and their speakers were always buzzing and making noise, but they seemed to sort that out last time we went. So
good.
I'm stuck with that one, so I'll just go with any.
All right.
Any that don't cover.
The best food in non-league that you've tasted? We've also Buxton.
Yeah, I don't think I always get to taste a lot of the grounds because on the Ray games I do a bit of radio reporting for a radio station, so I'm often tucked away. But I have tried Buxton's this time. Got there quite early, so managed to get in, and I will say that was a fantastic burger there.
There's good burger pies because they bang a bit of peas on top, see, and then they put the gravy on top as well. That just is like really good.
Okay, so that's the next time I try the pie.
Yeah.
Like that free.
I call it a stress pie. I'm like stressed out there. The tagline: "Try the pie." Yeah, try the pie. The stress pie. Maybe we should get all the Aggborough pies on here and give them all a go and rate them out 1 to 10. We should do that, shouldn't we?
Or at each away game, you could get someone to get a pie, bring it back, and then you could rate the pie from the away games. There's your feature.
Take the sofas with us. That'll be right with it.
That's it.
Oh, it's so good. You know, as you've said that it was Alex Penny, yeah.
Yes, just for the occasion and the moment, what it was, and another favourite of mine is we were on Cliff Moyer a few years ago, when he'd been out for a while, and he came back on a sub, and I think we were already winning 4-0, and he scored the 5th goal. It came on a couple of minutes and got the header straight in, and it was just again that for the moment because he'd been out for so long. Cliff is such a great guy.
Oh, he's a man guy
to be around, and he was really feeling the pinch of not being able to play. So for him to get back in and score, it was fantastic for him. So yeah, moments like that are just brilliant.
Yeah, he was a top guy. He was just he's class. Even to this day, he's class. One word to describe Aggborough on a match day.
I'm just going to go with electric.
Electric. What about you?
Awesome.
Awesome, Liam.
Energy.
Energy. I'm going to say heavenly.
Fantastic way.
Beautiful place. Promotion this year, yes or no?
So if I don't no, but it's hard to throw it out there so early. I mean, I think I'm happy with the way the squad's been building, with the players that have come in. I think we are giving ourselves a really good chance. Still really is obviously that we're a new team at the moment, a lot of new players, new management. So is there going to be that settling in, that gelling period? But I mean, I'm always optimistic with stuff like this, but I'd love to think that we've given ourselves a chance, and that we are going to be up there. Hopefully we can do. We start far, and then just if there are weak areas, changes in making that we can tweak those, and get ready in that and have a good runner.
Brilliant. What about you? The whole team's changed, hasn't it? New manager. I'm really excited about the new manager. I'm really excited about the players that we've been signing. Hopefully, if we get off to a good start, I would expect that we'll be playoffs at least. I'd love to win the league, but I'm very hopeful we'll be playoffs.
Okay. Liam, yes or no?
I think so. I mean, last season we just come down with something, and was a bit down around the club, and like no one knew what was going to happen. Phil said this last week as well. This time players are coming early. That's excitement.
Yeah.
It's hard not to be confident. I think
He's got a plan. And anyone who's got a plan, listen, we'll get behind him.
Yes.
He's got energy, he's got a plan, there's excitement. So without kicking the ball, you're going up this season, Harriers.
There we go, fantastic.
So 10, moving we're coming to kind of a final segments. We always ask for your questions and your opinions. We've had a question and an opinion from Pete, one of our fans. One of ours. He's a Harriers fan. I have a question for the pod. He says, having sampled the food at the Aggborough and not being that impressed, what would you three like to see on the menu? We'll extend it to 4. What would you three like to see on the menu? Also, would Adam like to make it compulsory for all season ticket holders to drink Bovril? I am an advocate for Bovril. Other drinks are available, but on a cold, as soon as it starts getting wintry, it's the main drink to have. Bovril it's crass Bovril. But in the summer period, I'm a Fanta boy. I like Fanta or Pepsi Max. That's my to go to. Do you get food and drink brought up to you?
I don't know. I should do, really, shouldn't I? But if anyone's watching, but no, I didn't get a chance to sample the food at Aggborough either. I always am going to. Normally for me, I get there early doors and get to try the ounces, stay outside the ground. But obviously once the ground opens and all the kiosks open inside, it's all systems go for me. So mine pretty much tends to be the ounce steak, which is really good.
So yeah, there you go. Okay, what about you? What would you want to see on the menu internally? We said next week about jack potatoes and beans.
Yeah, something like that. Like, I follow the guy Spudman from from Tamworth and I see the way he makes his baked potatoes. Something like that would be amazing.
In Newton, there's a famous chicken restaurant called Chicken George.
Okay.
Right, and it is world class. And it's honestly one of the best chickens that you like chicken food you'd ever eat. Luton every now and then have Chicken George at the stadium. That is absolutely classic. I would love to see like a decent smash patty on the menu here, like proper good cheeseburger, and just go for it. That'd be really, really. I'm not one for the old thick burgers. I just like doing like that. That'd be good. What about you, Liam? You got anything?
Just on my phone there, Adam. I always have a burger. Well, a lot of people don't, but I love the burgers out the vans. So the more tools and burgers would be my thing.
What about a slice of pizza? Oh, just a slice of pizza would be good, cheese. Oh, you don't like cheese? Yeah, weird as that. I don't like cheese.
I mean, I'm not liking pineapple, but not like cheese on a pizza.
We'll eat some pizza now, but
look, we're praying for you, mate. Don't worry. Another question then from Carl. Carl said, "Are any of the panel concerned that we're going to struggle this season in mid-table mediocrity, given the whole set of squad changes?" No, Carl, we've already told you, we're getting promoted this season. We're out there with it. We're smashing the league. Adam Murray's got a plan. There's nothing to discuss here. Stop asking stupid questions. No, seriously, sir. Seriously, boys, what do you think?
Yeah, I think we've spoken a bit about this, haven't we? So I hope much more than mid-table mediocrity.
Yeah.
Playoffs at least.
Definitely. Anything to add on it, mate?
I don't think that's going to be the case. I mean, you get in these rabbit holes in social media saying, "Oh, we've got lots of new players that are going to take time to gel," but it's the nature of non-league. You're not going to have the same team every season,
And we're professional.
Yeah, we're full time. We're full time as well, aren't we?
and the fact is they signed so early, which I don't remember in my time coming to Harry's, such business being done so early. And I mean, all club have to take good fans, but we can't be in a position 5 games in if we're not top of the league. We can't be saying this isn't working. We need to be keeping an eye on the team because new players will take time to gel. But I fully believe in the caliber of the players, and I think it'd be a very disappointing season if we were anywhere near the table.
Yeah, I would agree with that. The question, I don't know if anyone knows the answer to this. Are Macclesfield a full-time team? Because obviously being lower down, they wouldn't have been, but now they've come back up. Are they a full-time team?
I can't be sure, but I think I remember seeing about them being hybrid at the moment.
Interesting.
So like some parts of it is full time and things, but I can't be 100% on that. So don't take it as a gospel, but yeah.
Okay, good stuff. And that is the end of our fan questions. So let's come into the end of our podcast today, our actual episode today. We want to say a massive thanks to you, Scott, for giving up your time, joining us. It's been really insightful, hasn't it?
Yeah, it has. It's good to get to know because you're there on every match day.
Yeah. If you do
Scott experience.
Well, if you do see Scott on match day, if you're in that main stand, go and give him a high five, say thank you, take him an Aggborough pie so he can try it. Pepsi Max is his favourite drink, is his choice of poison. And just, encourage him. He's doing such a fantastic job, we really appreciate you. It's been proper insight and a voice that we'll all be hearing again soon.
Well, thank you for having me on. It's been an honour to be the first guest.
Oh, yeah.
No, it's absolute honour.
That's been brilliant. Yeah, definitely come again. So next week, we'll be diving into our season predictions, dark horses, hopefully naming our starting 11 for the opening game of the season, what we've got so far. All you need to do is hit follow, tell a Harry is mate if you've got a question, send it in, unless it's about 3G pitches, because we are still seething about those 3G pitches. Yeah. Tune in next week, subscribe, like, and share. Thank you so much for listening. Take care and God bless.